What's up, guys? Welcome. We are live. This is
Hello.
Married with Media Live. We're going to be reviewing some movies,
Yep.
some TV shows.
Shows.
The Suicide Squad we watched last Friday night.
Yep.
And Old, we went to the theater this morning into afternoon.
Yep.
And we watched that. And then we're going to be talking about all the TV shows we've been watching.
Yep.
And all that good stuff. So welcome, everybody. If you're joining us live, if you're joining us on the replay, thank you guys for being here. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And if you're here live, feel free to comment in the chat. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on any of this stuff. So we did have one person that joined us in the chat earlier, and that's Bifford the Hobbit. He says, "Hey, Ken family. I didn't like Suicide Squad because it copied the original movie plot and James Gunn humor is too childish."
Okay, I hear you.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I didn't see the original one, so I can't really compare. But I mean, I would agree that maybe some of the humor was a little kiddish.
Yeah, but we're going to get into that later. We're going to talk about the TV shows that we've been watching, and then we'll do Suicide Squad, and then we'll talk about Old. So it is nice getting some of these like bigger releases out there though, and getting to watch them. So you ready to talk about these shows?
Yep.
You doing okay?
I think so. I'm tired. I'm tired again. I feel like I was tired last time.
Yeah. Full disclosure that the kids went back to school this week, and we're up at like 6:30 for you, and then 7:30 for me every morning.
Yeah, it's kicking my ass hard because like all summer we would stay up super late, sleep in.
Yeah.
And now we're having to go to bed early, wake up super early, and it's, even though we're going to bed early, it's just not helping.
It's back to reality, right?
Right.
It's okay though. We can handle it.
Yeah.
We'll do this together.
Yeah.
We'll do it together.
I just got to get used to it. So.
But yeah, guys, we're going to try to keep up and watch and talk about as many movies and TV shows as we possibly can.
Yeah. The good thing is, something fun and new for us is because our kids went back to school, we have Wednesdays together. Because we're both off, the kids are in school, like I just said. And so we are planning on making that our like movie theater day. And then, if there's nothing out, we might hang at home and watch stuff. But we usually aren't able to do that because you got to have a babysitter.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun time. We're going to get to see some new releases in the theater because more and more so it feels like, which is the right thing to do, but they're releasing more movies in the theater.
Yep.
And less opportunity to watch stuff at home.
Yeah.
Tony's Movies and More is in here. It says, "Hello, Ken and Michelle. How are we tonight? I saw Suicide Squad on Sunday.
Hello,
I enjoyed
Tony.
it. Awesome, man. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about Suicide Squad probably, I would say, at the 30-minute mark. So, we're going to dig into that movie for sure. JRP's in here. What's up, man? Says, "Good evening, Ken and Michelle. Suicide Squad was great."
Hello.
Yep, we are going to get into that a little bit later, but I really like that movie. But first things first, let's talk about some TV we've been watching. Let's start with The White Lotus.
Okay.
Let's start with The White Lotus, and I've got some cool. Let's see if I can find these here.
Did you get some images?
I got some overlays. We got The White Lotus up there in the corner. That's fancy.
You are fancy.
I'm getting fancy.
I'm glad you know how to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't too difficult.
I haven't really tried to learn all that yet. So
yeah, well, you'll get there. The White Lotus, episode 5, the HBO series, and this is the penultimate episode. So the episode before the finale. Which we're going to be getting the finale this Sunday. But do you remember what happened in this episode? We watched it Monday night, right?
I don't remember when we watched it.
We left off at the salad tossing moment. Didn't
we have to break this episode into two?
Yeah, we did. I think we watched it Sunday night, and then we finished it Monday.
Yep. See, we can't even finish an hour, like a 50-minute show.
Well,
in one setting, it's pathetic, guys.
We do our best.
So sorry, I know you're.
No, you go ahead.
You're gonna say something.
I told you, I feel like I talk too much sometimes.
We When did we talk about this show? I feel like we've talked about it.
No, we last week we
Yeah.
went live on Wednesday nights,
Right.
and we talked about the first 4 episodes.
Okay, well, I think
so
I have like Alzheimer's.
so
or something.
this one picks up, with the hotel manager, and he's kissing the guy's ass because he caught him doing the one thing. You also have his mom that's there now, Molly Shannon. Molly Shannon was in this episode quite a bit.
Yeah.
Having her interaction with Alexander Daddario.
Yeah, she like crashes their honeymoon, which is like super weird and awkward because like the daughter-in-law is definitely not feeling it.
Yeah. She's like, no, I'm glad you're here, but you can just tell like she's
like
not.
she
and the mom knows it too.
She doesn't try. The daughter-in-law does not try. What's her name?
Molly Shannon.
No.
Or Alexander Daddario.
Yeah. She does not try, I don't feel like, to hide her annoyance and all that. But
and the mother-in-law is that classic like bitchy mother-in-law that's not really a bitch, but like she's always like doling out like backhanded remarks, compliments, whatever you call that.
Right. I don't know. But yeah, I said it last time that we talked about it. It's like I'm kind of trying to decide if I like this show more than Mayor.
Oh yeah.
Or Mayor.
It's definitely more lighthearted than Mayor.
Mayor, am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right. You're saying it right.
It's been so long since I've said that.
No, it's Mar. You said it wrong.
It is Mar.
Mar.
Yeah, Mar. Because we always said it wrong back when we reviewed it too. But anyway.
I always got shit for it in the comments section.
Or wait. It's supposed to be Mayor. Mary, remember?
It's Mayor, yeah.
Okay.
No, so it is Mayor. You're right.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about the show.
Because it's Mary, so Mayor.
Yeah, we kept saying Mar.
We kept saying Mar.
Mar was what we kept saying.
That's yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys we're like a hot mess.
The White Lotus.
But like what I was saying is,
and this episode's called the Lotus Eaters too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which they reference later on.
Yeah.
The hotel manager guy.
Oh, at the end when he's like eating.
He's talking about the. I guess he's talking about the customers is like basically coming in and eating and filling their faces. And
yeah, I mean that was a very like brief scene. Yeah. But I feel like this is like falling apart already. But I was like I said, this show is great, and it could be that like we're just in it, so it's like fresh and new in our minds. But I feel like I might like this more than that show. I just think this is a great show. Like I just love so many things about it. Like the cast is really great.
Yeah.
We talked about the music. Like the music is so like different, and
the score
just like makes it. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you aren't watching The White Lotus and you have HBO Max, go ahead, do yourself a favor and catch up. It's only 5 episodes right now. Catch up before the finale.
Yeah, the finale is on Sunday. And then we did just get news that they are coming back for season 2.
I'm glad you brought that up because I completely forgot. That is big news.
Yeah, so they are bringing it back for season 2, and apparently it's going to be like a new cast and a new location. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm as down for that. I would like to see the original cast. But again, we don't know what's going to happen because there's a dead body, but you don't know who it's going to be.
Well, I can't think of his name, but the hotel manager.
Yeah.
Like he's fantastic. Like,
oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Great. I mean, among others.
And I love Steve Zahn in the show. The dad, he's great too. Everybody in the show's good.
But I saw on like HBO's or like the White Lotus Instagram page where they like posted like a whole collage of the hotel manager or whatever, and like people were like, please bring him back for season 2. Like I think a lot of people love him as well. So
yeah, that would be cool if they brought him back and he kind of tied it in, I guess.
But it's like knowing what he did, like he would have to not get reprimanded for that or something.
Well, I mean, they might forget about it because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
It might be inconsequential.
Right.
By the end of the show, it might not even matter. But yeah, I really enjoy the show too. But I think the other thing that we haven't, we can get into the chat here real quick. See who all's in here.
See something about
let's see. Hey guys, hope all is well. Vince LaFresca's here. Red 4K says, "Serp, He doesn't even
Sir.
bother to say sup. He says sir. Mr. Nichols says,
Sickles.
hey
Right.
there. How are you guys doing? Doing great, man.
You can't
Ken,
talk.
you wearing pants? I am wearing pants. You want to see if I'm wearing pants or not?
He's not.
Right here. Pants. I got some
I'm
camo
not.
pants on.
I'm definitely not.
That were popular back in 2005 and aren't anymore. But I still wear them.
Oh my God.
Rev 4K says, doubt it. Well, I proved you wrong, Rev. And Bonnie's in the house. Welcome, Bonnie. Says, LOL. She's laughing. Probably with Susan. They're probably laughing together at us. So the White Lotus episode 5, the other thing that we didn't talk about was like the big
I don't know like how much you
want
to talk about. Like what? Like I feel like we're kind of spoiling
the robbery that happens, and then the well, I mean it all depends on if you want to spoil it in that way, I guess.
I mean, I feel like we've kind of already
yeah, well, anyway, there's a robbery. We won't say like the details, and basically the husband has to come to the wife's rescue, and it kind of because they've been kind of fighting and stuff for the past few episodes, and it kind of rekindled their relationship a little bit.
Yeah, because the husband like saved her essentially from the attacker or whatever, or the robber. And then I'm trying to think what else. I mean, that was like the big thing.
And you have, Stifler's mom, which I still can't remember name.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge, yeah, she's I don't know what to think about her and her character. Sometimes it gets on my nerves a little bit, and then sometimes I think it's really funny. But it's like a fine line that she's writing.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but she, oh my gosh,
what's going on up there?
You can hear our daughter. I think she has my shoes on again. She likes to wear my shoes sometimes. Now I'm distracted. Yeah, so Jennifer Coolidge, I don't know. I tend to like be laughing my ass off on her scenes because she just plays like this kind of drunken hot mess character so well. And like she has like this love interest that she's found the last couple episodes, and like they're like hooking up, and then she's like, she thinks that he's like gonna blow her off, and like I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and there's some like mystery surrounding him and whether or not he's sick or whatever.
Right. So. Like there was a scene where he like started coughing really bad, and he was like, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go. I'm fine. I just gotta go get a drink. And I keep telling him that I think that he's on this like tropical island as like a final, like, because he's like got terminal cancer or something.
Yeah, it's very obvious that that's kind of what they're hinting at. I'll be disappointed if they don't like resolve that.
Because it seems so random.
It feels like they should do something with that. But yeah, episode 5 is really good. Highly recommend the show. It's really enjoyable. It hasn't gotten like really dark yet for like what happens in the beginning, what we know is going to happen. I don't feel like it's gotten like too dark.
Yeah, I feel like a lot probably has to go down in the finale, but
I think like how this show overall is going to rank for me is just that ending. If they can stick the landing on the finale, if they do, I might be with you and like it more than Mare.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's like a different category.
Yeah.
Than
Mare. It's a different type of show. But yeah, I would it was a good show, good episode. I'm excited for the finale.
Yeah, me too.
Excited for the finale.
So there's our sloppy rundown of
the sloppy rundown.
Well,
we can't promise that the next one's going to be any better, but we'll try. Let me switch everything around real quick. We're going to talk about physical, and we're going to talk about the whole season. So we reviewed the first 4 episodes when the show first dropped.
Yep.
This is a show that's on Apple TV Plus, and we've been pretty high on Apple TV Plus all year.
As you can see by Ken's picture over there, it's got Rose Byrne
in it, and this has been an interesting show. I don't know if it delivered quite like I was hoping it would.
Yeah, so I feel like in the beginning I was really enjoying it, and I feel like lately I haven't been as like into it.
Yeah.
I haven't been as like eager to find out like what would happen, what was going to happen.
it may be, I don't know, the ending was very strange.
The ending was strange. I mean, I understand what they were saying though.
Yeah. I thought they leaned a little bit too heavily into like the husband stuff with her and him, her helping him with the campaign. They didn't really focus on the fact that she was like her trajectory into like fitness and being like the fitness guru and stuff and leading her own classes and her studio.
Well, see,
I felt like all that was like in the background, and they brought it up when it was convenient for the plot.
Right.
But like most of the time, we were just focused on him and the election and the campaign, and that's all that stuff I wasn't interested in. I didn't necessarily want out of this show, but they kept wanting to focus on that, and I wanted them to focus on like her journey and her kind of building herself up. And I don't know, it just some things didn't land. I'll watch a season 2.
Yeah.
Because I think that they could go more into that in season 2, maybe.
Right. It's like they were very slowly trying to like break her away from him.
Yeah.
Because, she said, I feel like several times in the show that she did love him.
Yeah.
And I feel like she did, but then she also had a lot of resentment towards him.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we talk about the ending or no?
You can talk about it if you want. Or I mean, I don't know if a lot of people have seen that. We don't have to. It's not like a big spoiler of the show or nothing. It was just a very strange ending with 2 characters masturbating in a mall.
Right.
And we can leave it at that.
They were just like,
That's how the show ends.
Yeah, they were like touching themselves, like making eye contact, but they were like really far apart from one another. Like he was like down on the first floor and she was like up in the, what do you call it? Like a, can't think of the word.
Balcony?
Like a balcony, yeah.
Yeah, balcony.
She was like up by the, at the top of the escalator or something.
Yeah, it was, it had the mall feels of the 80s.
Yeah, she had like both of these characters have had like marital problems. Like the one guy, he finds out his wife's pregnant again.
Yeah.
And then, Rose Byrne's character, she had just had like you find out that he lost the election, and she kind of has this moment where she's like, I'm over this shit. Why did I waste my time helping this loser out?
There's just tons of those moments where she's like, you feel like it's time for her to break away and go do her own thing. And she just keeps going back to him. Right. Maybe that's the story that they're trying to tell. It's just not the one that I wanted. And I wanted her to go do her own thing. And I wanted it to be just a more straightforward story about just like her journey through the world of fitness and becoming this, badass, ruthless, like fitness instructor.
But you know what? Like, how in the beginning of the series, they made it seem like it showed us like where she was going to end up.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm almost kind of wondering if it was just like all in her head and like that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when they're like masturbating, she basically gets off.
Yeah.
And
they probably both do, to be fair.
And in her mind, she sees herself like in this show, she like becomes really obsessive with her like aerobic stuff.
Yeah. And
she gets really like high on herself or whatever. But anyway, when she's getting off, she's like thinking in her head, and it shows her like in her, like she's a legit aerobics person, and there's like a bunch of her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? So I'm and like it's like she's getting off on herself.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even really necessarily him down there. Like, yeah, I think she's attracted to him. But at the end of the day, it's like she's becoming like upset, like into herself, like this person she's becoming. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's kind of what I want from her. Because, I mean, she's felt kind of down on herself the whole
well, she's
show. She's always
she has like
talking shit about herself in her head.
Right. She has like bulimia, bulimia.
Bulimia.
Yeah. Because she throws up after she eats. She like binges and then throws up. And so you like deal with that the whole season.
Yeah.
And like you said, she's like talking really negatively in her head, and she talks that way about other people too. Like she's always like thinking these horrible things about people.
Yeah, and then there was the overweight woman and her husband, and shaving him bald. They're shaving each other bald, and it's weird stuff going on there. Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. I thought Rose Byrne's great in the show.
Right.
Pretty much all the performances are good. I don't have any problems with her. It's just some of the characters I just didn't like them. I didn't like where they ended up, and
it didn't turn out how I thought it was going to.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've heard anything on like, is there going to be a season 2?
I feel like I heard that.
Like there almost has to be with that kind of setup.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I have to imagine the show did okay for Apple TV Plus.
Right.
I don't know what their metrics is for success, because nobody ever shares like the data or whatever on any of these streaming services. But it's a decent show. I enjoyed parts of it. It's entertaining. If you have Apple TV Plus, it's an okay. I mean, these shows are very easy to watch. They're only 30 minutes. I would recommend watching it in a binge. I just think it's like week to week with some of these shows. I don't know if it's necessarily warranted for them to do like a week to week thing. I would have rather them done like maybe 3 episodes at a time or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It just felt like very long and drawn out. It just didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the same thing was happening over and over again.
Exactly. Like with her, it'd be an episode start with her, like she would start to pull away at the end of one episode, and then the beginning would start, and she'd be right back in the same place she was, helping her husband put on the next party or whatever.
But I mean, that could be, like realistic. Like, like it's probably hard to break ties with your husband, and they have a kid together, and so I don't know.
So overall, for me, it's a soft recommendation.
Yeah.
Not a strong one, just a very mild one. It's a decent show. I'll watch season 2 if it comes out.
Right.
So there you go.
We hate it, but we'll watch season 2.
We got some people that commented I didn't get to. Vince said, "I'm only on episode 1 of White Lotus. I gotta play catch up."
Oh, hey, I know Vince.
Well, there you go. You got
he
what,
leaves
you got
some
3 days?
Really nice comments.
Yeah,
on
we
our
appreciate
videos.
we appreciate everybody that leaves comments and stuff like that. We love talking and engaging with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, catch up. You got about I think 4 days to the finale. I love Mayor of Easttown. It was a really great show.
Yep.
Pops Movie Dungeon's here. Hey there. What's up, Pops Movie Dungeon? Patrick Corran's in the house. What's up, buddy? Happy to be here. He said, hello, how's it going? We're doing all right, man. So yeah, would you recommend the show?
I mean, yeah. Like, it's not that I don't like it.
The quality's good. It's well made, and it really does give you some of those 80s feels.
Right.
But yeah, and then there's the weird thing with their parents, like halfway through. And they never really, I guess that was the resolution, but maybe they'll bring them back at some point. I don't know.
Well, we know why she didn't talk to her parents.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into why she's so mentally messed up.
Yeah.
Because she was basically, like, I think, raped by one of her dad's friends when she was a teenager.
Yeah, that's a very dark storyline.
Yeah.
They didn't really go into a whole lot.
I mean, I guess that explains a lot about her character.
Yeah.
Probably. So.
Yeah. But let's get on to a little bit of a lighter note. Let's talk about Ted Lasso episode 3. And we've been reviewing this like standalone, which, we may do. We're kind of just winging it at this point.
We're done.
We're running on fumes week to week. The kids are back in school, so we might just be talking about these on our live streams.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted Lasso episode 3 was another very enjoyable episode of season 2 of Ted Lasso, and I'm looking forward to watching episode 4.
Yeah, I remember you wanted to watch it, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood to watch it right now, but then we ended up watching it anyway.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, that was a nice, sweet episode. So, like, it was good.
Yeah, in this one you have...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, in this one you have Jamie, who came back in the end of episode 2, and it's kind of like his redemption arc, because he was the asshole in season 1, so he's kind of...
Everybody was, really upset about it, and basically in this episode, Jamie kind of says, listen, I'm sorry. I know I treated you all like crap, and he kind of apologized to everybody. And then, what's his name? There is a player on the team. His name is Sam. Pretty sure, because I remember looking it up. And basically he gets like a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And then, he like tells his parents about it. He's super excited, and they're from like Nigeria. Right.
Yep.
and like his dad like kind of gave him grief over the sponsor that he took and was like, I'm so disappointed in you. Don't you know that this company is a part of, basically they're like ruining their like ocean.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
They're dumping like the waste
Like
and stuff
oil.
into their ocean.
Yeah, like they're ruining their,
like evil chemical companies usually do.
Yeah. And so anyway, we get this really nice moment where Sam basically says, I have to drop this sponsor, and like I'm sure he got a shit ton of money for it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so he decides he's just going to make a stand and do the rightest thing, which is the name of the episode. And it was just really nice because he like takes some tape and he like covers up the sponsor name before the game. And then all the players kind of, well, Jamie, I think, was the first one.
Yeah.
Jamie's like, throw me that tape. We're a team, And so like he covers the sponsor name up too. And then the whole team starts to do it. And it was just like a really nice, like heartfelt scene.
Yeah. It's showing that I think that Ted, he knows what he's doing. He's trying to, he's trying to play both sides and bring everybody together. And is Jamie going to revert back to his old ways at some point? Who knows? You'd have to think probably they're going to want to bring in some drama at some point.
I know we talked about it in one of our reviews, but they definitely did what I thought they were going to do, where Jamie ended up with the therapist.
Yeah.
And
you
so
called that.
Yeah. So Jamie was basically like venting to his old girlfriend, Keely, who now is with Rory. And she's like, here, follow me. Let's go. And they end up in the counselor's or the therapist's office. And she's like, here, this person gets paid to listen to you complain. And so Jamie's kind of like, what am I supposed to do? Just like talk about myself and stuff. And she's like, basically. And so anyway, I think that like it probably is going to be like a positive thing for him to be back, if he continues to like work through all of his daddy issues.
You got to think there's going to be some drama at some point,
always.
And it's probably going to be centered around like Keely and Roy and some kind of a love triangle at some point.
Could be, yeah.
But yeah, this is a good show. If you guys aren't watching Ted Lasso, again, Apple TV Plus show. I would recommend getting Apple TV Plus to watch Ted Lasso if you don't have it. And the morning show and The Servants and all the other shows that we haven't even really got to talk about on this channel.
So excited for the morning show to come back. I mean, the Servant, not so much.
Well, The Servant had a great first season. The second season wasn't as good. But the morning, there's one more. Oh, Defending Jacob, which is also out on Blu-ray now too, so you can buy that. But that was a great show as well. Okay, so let's get into two main events we have planned tonight.
Main event.
And I'm super in wrestling, you would call this a double main event.
Okay.
I'm super excited to talk about both of these movies for like different reasons.
I feel like I'm supposed to like put you in a headlock. Is that what they're called?
There you go. I'm going to give you the Stone Cold Stunner live on here. I'm super excited to talk about both of these for drastically different reasons. But the first one we're going to talk about is the Suicide Squad, which is the big DC comic book film that came out on HBO Max and in theaters this weekend. And, just so you guys know, we do support the theaters. We try to, but sometimes we just can't get out to the theaters, especially on a Friday night.
Like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I work all day, and we have kids, and you come home, it's on HBO Max. Why wouldn't you just boot up HBO Max and watch the Suicide Squad? It just makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people your channel is physical media and all that stuff, but I feel like we do a good mixture.
So streaming, we supported theaters today, which we'll talk about here in a second.
And we plan on continuing to.
And this movie, just talking about the theaters and just the money it made, it didn't do very well at the box office. And a lot of people are blaming HBO Max. Obviously, people can watch it at home. They're going to make the same decision that we did. And it made like $37 million at the box office. Which they were hoping it was going to make like 50 to 60. So hopefully they don't take that into account when they're deciding on whether or not they're going to do a sequel to this. Because I would like to see a sequel, but hopefully they understand this is different times and it probably would have done better in other circumstances.
Right. Yeah.
But let's see if anybody is saying anything. Cinema Studies is here. Hey, what's up? Got to catch up on Ted Lasso. I love season 1. You definitely do, man. Episode 4 will be out this Friday. So yeah, just catch up. You only got 3 episodes. Patrick Rand says, "Are you looking forward to Free Guy?"
It's funny you said that because next week I was like, oh, next week we can see Free Guy, or what was the other one?
You said we can see Free Guy or Don't Breathe.
Oh yeah, or
and
Don't Breathe
I said
too.
Don't Breathe too, obviously.
Yeah, and I was
said,
like,
well, what about Free Guy? I was like, I didn't know you were such a Free Guy fan.
I mean, I'm not, but I mean, I think that they both look equally good. But you were like acting like you were talking trash about Free Guy.
It's not that I don't want to see Free Guy. I do.
I'm like, you'd rather go see a
if
blind old guy.
If I've got the choice, I'm going horror thriller every time.
Yeah, but he seems to think that he can just like pick out whatever we watch all the time, and I'm like, no.
Look, if I had my way, we would have saw The Green Knight today. But
it was too long.
It was too long, and I knew that you wouldn't be into it.
And we'll talk about this in a minute, but old was too long too.
Yeah, well, old was something else. But the Suicide Squad. Yeah, look, I gotta talk about this because.
And I know you guys in the chat have seen the Suicide Squad. So
yeah,
please,
everybody, if you got any thoughts on it, let us know.
Yeah, please comment.
We'll call it out. We'll talk about it together. But I really love this movie. I loved it. And it's like one of the first movies, like big budget movies that I've seen in a long time that I actually loved. And it actually lived up to the hype for me.
Wow.
It doesn't happen that often in this day and age. And I don't know what it was. It was just one of those movies when I saw it. And I'm like, this is going to be a movie that I just enjoy watching multiple times. I'm going to buy it when it comes out on 4K. I'll probably watch it again. It just feels like one of those movies I'll be able to go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed this one. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I haven't seen the original or the first one or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. And you don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to. But there's some callbacks and there's characters from the first one in this.
Right.
But they're really not connected at all.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really good. But like after thinking about it,
she's always got something negative to say.
No, that's not true. It's him. But
aren't you happy that I actually like something?
No. That's the thing though, is since he likes it, I'm like, oh, it makes sense because I don't love it like you. Like
I can't win. I can't win.
Like really, Ken, this is the movie that just like does it for you. Like
it was. Out of all the new movies I've seen this year,
right?
It's Over a Quiet Place for me.
Like I said, I liked this movie. I thought it was pretty good. Like it was really good. But there were also things about it that I had problems with.
Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. There's things that I had issues with too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like expecting it to be perfect, but like that's why I'm saying that it wasn't like amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, just some of the choices were like different. Like I didn't love how they like split up Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and I heard somebody else talking about this. It almost felt like you could have just done this movie without Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
You didn't even need her in there. That whole sequence with her and the Prince guy. Like, I liked all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't need to be there.
But to be fair, I mean, couldn't you say that, like, without her, he wouldn't have been dead? Like, didn't they kind of need him to be dead?
Yeah, I mean, that was the catalyst to set off, like, a series of events. But, like, you could have worked around it and done something different.
But yeah, I didn't like that she was kind of separated and doing her own thing for a while, it felt like. And I didn't like how, they were making her seem like she needed to be rescued or whatever.
Yeah. But they didn't go through that. Yeah, they made fun of that and they lied
of it. She did escape on her own and they were like, oh, we were coming to save you. And she was like, oh, you were, whatever. Yeah, like I know when we did our vlog or whatever of our like live reaction for it, I had said that I was like looking forward to seeing her in it because I really enjoyed her in her movie.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey or whatever.
Yeah, right? I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. I liked that more than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I like this one slightly more than
And
that.
I will say though, that scene, I think she was in the jail. I liked the scene where she was fighting and like all the flowers and like.
That's getting a lot of criticism.
Really?
Online. Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
I liked it too. I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was really fun, and
it made no sense, but it was cool.
Well, no. I feel like it does make sense because if you think about Birds of Prey, like they had all that colorful shit in it. Like when she had those guns that had the powder and.
But it doesn't make sense for her to have cartoon characters surrounding her.
Yeah, but that was like very minimal. It was like a couple of birds or something. It wasn't like
all the flowers were like cartoon. It was like cartoon and live action mixed together in that scene.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that? Like,
it's like visually it looks cool. It's just, why are there cartoons in the movie? It doesn't make any sense for them to be there.
It was just, I mean, we're talking about a movie that had like a fucking shark. Like, are you serious? Like,
yeah, I know, but the shark's live action. It's not like it was a cartoon.
Like, this is a superhero movie.
It's just inconsistent to the rest of the movie. It's not,
But like, maybe it wasn't like actually there. Maybe it was just there for us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You got a point.
I just think that's stupid to like criticize that. I don't know. I'm not saying like you specifically, but
no,
if people,
you called me stupid.
But if people are like actually complaining about that, like I personally don't get it. I thought that part was like really cool.
Well, look, when you have a movie like this, that's why I'm just kind of reluctant to even talk about these big budget movies like this, because they're so covered. Like everybody's talking about it.
Right.
It comes out on a Friday, and by Sunday it's been dissected to death, and everybody's just overanalyzed every single aspect of it.
Right.
And yeah, I just want to enjoy the movies. But yeah, we got to talk about things.
Really?
I do just want to enjoy the movies, but I can't help it if a movie's not good. I'm gonna tell you, it's not great. If it doesn't live up to my expectations, if it doesn't live up to my expectations, like this movie was so overhyped. It was like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, now it's 99. Now it's 98. But it's still in the 90s.
More people saw it, so it makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's, usually with these movies that are so overhyped, I watch them, I'm like, okay, that was fun. I get it. But it's just, I'm not into it. This one, I just loved all the characters. I thought everybody did a great job.
I'll be curious to see how you feel about it when you watch it for the second time.
I'll be very curious as well. But I loved all the characters in this movie. I loved the violence and the gore. I mean, this movie feels like Deadpool meets Guardians of the Galaxy, which, of course, like James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy. That makes sense. But he's also reverting back to his older, like, horror roots of like Slither and Super and movies like that. So I mean, it's I don't know. I like this movie.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
I liked a lot about it. You want to talk about some of the characters? Like, what were some of your favorite characters in the movie?
Like I said, I liked it too, but
I loved the third act with the starfish. I love the starfish villain.
That was so random.
It was different. It just felt different than anything than what we usually get.
It almost felt like SpongeBob.
It was almost like cartoonish, like Power Rangers.
Oh, so it makes sense then?
Yeah. It makes sense. Look, it's consistent. I got
you. Like, why didn't I bring that up? There's a fucking walking starfish. But forget about Harley Quinn having fucking birds chirping around.
It was like a big starfish that was like...
Oh, you know what? I just thought. Something just clicked for me. Yeah. Okay. So remember when they take her, you'll have to remember what you were going to say. But remember when they took her and they were getting her ready in the car to take her to the like prince or whoever he was, and she had on that red dress and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
She had on that red dress and they like did her hair and her makeup and stuff. And she looked at herself in the mirror and she said, "Oh, I look like a princess."
Yeah.
So like it makes sense now. They did that because it was like she was like a Disney princess or something.
Yeah, I get it.
And like you know how they have the little birds and shit.
I get it. It was like cool stylistic choice.
I don't know.
I liked it.
Could have been related.
Quentin Tarantino had cartoons in Kill Bill, so I don't know what I'm bitching about.
Well, I'm not.
Shouldn't have brought it up.
You weren't the only one, apparently. You said that other people were complaining too, but I think that that might be connected. Like, I don't know.
Well, let's get back to the starfish. What I love so much about this starfish, and his name is Starro. If anybody's watching, I'm sure that I'll get corrected, but it's Starro.
Okay.
It was like really over the top and ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, kind of cartoonish.
I still don't understand what
But
they
it
were
was
doing.
it was scary. Like it was, and when the thing opened up its armpits and all those things flew out and it landed on people's faces and they were walking around like the Walking Dead. Like it was just very ominous.
I felt like it was scarier in the tank though. Once I saw how like bright and colorful it was, that was kind of.
It just felt like a real threat. Like it felt very threatening and ominous. And I don't know. I liked it. It was different. Like all these movies end in like Avengers and all this with like a big guy in an armor suit, like Thanos or freaking whatever was in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I can't even remember his name. Darkseid or Steppenwolf or whatever in armor. And then there's like a sky portal and all these superhero movies just end the same. Yeah. It's just refreshing to have a superhero movie end with like a giant kaiju starfish, like destroying the city and like throwing out these little freaking starfishes out of its armpit.
That part was cool though.
Yeah,
where like just a shit ton of them just came out.
Yeah, and it was just the way it was shot too, like from the ground level, almost like found footage, and you could see them like flying out.
I don't guess I quite figured out like what their motive was. Like, were they just trying to like take over people and like control them to do what? Like, what were they wanting to do? Do you even know?
I'd probably have to watch it.
And then there was like the part where they were all down in the like underground area and like they were experimenting on some people. And I'm just like, I'm not quite sure like what they were doing. So
there's
if anybody
all like
knows,
built-in mythology. I don't guess they
know.
Felt the need to really explain that. But
see, Bonnie, she could have done without the starfish.
She could have done without the starfish.
Here, you need to read these comments.
Like, I hear you. All right, let's look at this. Cinema Study says, I know the feeling. I want to support theaters, but I've got kids too and ended up watching it at home.
You
don't have to feel bad about that, man.
You feel
people will try to make you feel bad about it. You don't have to. You don't have to. JRP says, Don't Breathe will probably be the better watch.
Well, you know what? We'll probably go with the
JRP knows what's up.
Well, what'll happen is we'll have to go with the shorter one. So we'll have to see which one's shorter.
How about this? My mom should be coming out for a date night soon, right?
The 25th.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to push one of them. Is that next Wednesday? That's a week.
No,
Wednesday
2
after.
weeks.
I was going to say, we could see 2 movies in one day. We could go in the morning, and then when she comes over, we could see another one at night.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Patrick Coran says, I haven't watched the Suicide Squad yet. Well, sorry if we're spoiling things. We're trying to keep it light, but we're going to talk about some characters here in a second.
Okay.
Cinema Study says, Suicide Squad was great. Not perfect, but very fun and has a lot of rewatchability. The fact that King Shark was such a relatable character shows James Gunn's skill as a filmmaker. Yeah. That's another thing. These characters were ridiculous and the dialogue was ridiculous. But like you cared about them all. Like I cared about all these characters.
You feel like the dialogue was ridiculous?
I mean, not all the dialogue, but when John Cena's marching on the beach talking about eating bags of dicks and
yeah, I remember that
King
part.
Shark saying nom nom and I read book or whatever he said with the book.
Well,
like, there's some ridiculous dialogue that's meant to be funny.
Well, yeah, and also they're supposed to look like a group of like helpless, like really these are the guys that are gonna, they were meant to look like a hot mess basically. Yeah. And like what's the guy's name? The main one, the one with the accent.
Bloodsport. Idris Elba.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like him. And there were so many moments where he's like, for fuck's sake, like
he was awesome.
Like this is who I'm stuck with or whatever. So anyway, I feel like that was like it was, supposed to be like that.
Now, I thought that Will Smith was like the one standout of the first Suicide Squad, but like Idris Elba, who's basically playing the same character. Will Smith had something going on with his daughter in the first one too.
See, I didn't get to see Will Smith as it. I kind of want to see it.
He's really good in that movie, but I thought Idris Elba was like a couple of notches above him in this.
Yeah,
one.
He's good.
Yeah, I loved him in this movie.
And I love the accent.
And I loved his and Peacemaker, John Cena's interactions with each other. The scene where they're walking through the village, like showing off and shooting the people.
Well, yeah, you might want to talk about this in a minute, but like John Cena's character was like super annoying at first. But then, like, you kind of started to get to see his true colors.
It's hard for me to watch John Cena on screen and not see the old wrestler John Cena with his cringy promos and stuff on Monday Night Raw. So, it took me a little bit to warm up to him.
He's been, like, acting in movies for a while now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since I think Trainwreck was probably like
And
his
he's
first
been
big
in
one.
like a lot of, like, I personally don't think he's a great actor, but he's been in a lot of like big budget movies
He works
or like pop, like
Yeah.
bigger movies that come out to theaters and stuff like that, like comedies. And
he works in the comedies, not so much in the dramas,
yeah,
in my opinion. But I think he was really funny in Trainwreck. Sisters, he has a small part as that drug dealer. If you remember that, he's funny. Like I thought, it wasn't a great comedy, but I thought Blockers was decent.
Yeah.
I liked him all right in that.
Yeah.
Let's see. JRP said, I didn't like the starfish with the eye. I thought that was childish. It was, but I still really
Ken loved it, man.
I loved it. I love that
a
starfish.
I'm gonna get you like a stuffed starfish.
Now, I don't want every single superhero movie to start putting a starfish at the end of it, but you know, it was a refreshing change of pace from like the guy in the armored suit.
Yeah, I guess.
Taking on the heroes.
Yeah.
Bonnie Fest said, we had a good time with it. Glad y'all did. Could have done without the starfish. There's a lot of starfish hating here tonight.
See, I told you.
Tony Baby Moore says, I could have done without the giant starfish. I know he's in the comics, but was just a tad silly looking at.
I told
But
you.
the thing is, Tony, this is a silly movie. It's a silly movie, so it fit with this movie. Now, if the giant starfish popped up in like Avengers Endgame, it wouldn't have made as much sense. Or Justice League or whatever, you want to keep it in the same universe.
I guess,
but
yeah.
It made sense for something ridiculous looking to be the villain in this. And that wasn't even, was that the end of the movie?
What?
The starfish. Was that like the final set piece?
Yeah.
I feel like there was more after it.
Fell down and.
Maybe. With the rats and stuff. That was gross. Bonnie Fest said, I agree, Tony. So yeah, let's see. Cinema says, I like the starfish. It's crazy, but it fits the tone.
Yeah,
there you go. I got one starfish supporter in here. And it's a cool deep cut from the comics.
And see, I know nothing about the comics, and neither do you. So.
So who's your top 3 characters in this?
Really? You know, I hate doing that crap.
Other ones we haven't called out is Polka Dot Man. I thought he was really great too. The stuff with his mom, kept seeing his mom everywhere. Was funny.
Yeah. Okay, top 3 for me. I already told you I like the little rat.
Yeah, you like the little rat. That's what. Yeah, we went over that in the vlog video.
Yeah. The little rat was cute. I mean, he was like, not even like, I don't even think you could consider him a character. I mean, the girl with him, I don't know what her name was.
Ratcatcher 2.
Like she was fine, but like she definitely wouldn't make my like top 3 or anything. I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess. Oh, it's so hard.
It's so hard because they're all so good.
In no particular order.
I know Weasel's in there.
No. Which I loved at the end. That was just like when I saw that Weasel character, I'm like, what the hell?
Apparently we missed the post-credit scene because we went to bed. There's a post-credit scene.
Well, we saw him wake up, remember?
There was another one.
Oh, okay, yeah, we did miss that. One. Okay, so.
Which we should have known better, but it was
we're like so old, we can't even like catch the credit scenes. Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
Okay, so in no particular order, I'm just going to go with, what's the main guy's name again?
Bloodsport.
I'll go with him. I'll go with Harley Quinn, and I guess I'll go with the polka dot man.
Polka dot man was awesome.
Because I thought like it was cool, and it was funny how like he kept seeing his mom. He had like mommy issues, and like John Cena, there was a part where he's like, "Hey, Norman Bates," like.
Yeah. I know I said King Shark when we were on the vlog couch, which I do love King Shark.
Yeah, like the whole stuff with him, like wanting friends, and like he was kind of like.
It was sweet.
Like it was kind of cute, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not gonna pick him.
Yeah, and then just for that scene where he rips the guy in half that I posted on my Instagram, it was awesome.
And like
that's the shot of the movie.
That scene where he's like in the aquarium part and all those cute little like jellyfish.
Yeah, and they turn out to be
and then they turn to like
monsters.
Try to hurt him. Yeah, and there were like
that was awful.
Yeah, and then like at the end where they were all shooting.
I don't understand like how much damage he can take though, because he's like getting shot.
I mean, I know like
he
sharks
falls
have
off the building.
Yeah, sharks have like deep thick skin, I think.
Yeah.
But
I know
like,
he was basically like a god or whatever. I forget how Viola Davis explained him in the beginning.
right.
Which she wasn't in the movie too much. I feel like she had a bigger part in the other one, but she's a great actress, so she was good in the movie as well. But I wouldn't say
Okay, so
favorite character.
we gotta hurry this up. It's 8:54.
Okay, so my favorite characters is Bloodsport's probably my number one. I
Okay.
love the Idris Elba, and I'll do King Shark 2, and then Peacemaker's my third.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I like the evil Captain America character.
Yeah.
That a lot. It's popping up in a lot of movies now with like Falcon and Winter Soldier and now this. I like that.
I mean, I kind of feel
do
like
what you can for.
yeah, I feel like even though it was bad, like I feel like he was doing it because he thought it was the right thing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, but kind of dirty.
The right thing for liberty.
Yeah.
But
for the greater good,
the greater
right?
good. The greater good. I love the greater good character.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's
so moving along.
Cinema Slay says, and it's a cool deep cut from the comics.
No.
Let's see. I love that the film used such obscure characters, including Starro. Okay, so, all right, we may go a little bit over here, because we have to talk about old.
We're only in a hurry because we got to get the kids to bed for school.
Yeah, we got to talk about old, and
we got to talk about old.
Old's a movie that has been getting a lot of shit. A lot of people have been saying some bad things about Old.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
So yeah, we decided that we were gonna go see Old today, and we had to rush there.
Yeah.
Which didn't start out our little day date very well.
No.
I'm like, I hate rushing. I'm just adding more to the story, but hey, it's good, fun topic. So anyway, we did get there like in plenty of time though. There were still like a few previews. Like we still had to watch a few previews. So anyway, I hate being late. I like to get there early. I like to watch the previews, yada, yada, yada. I do not like rushing. And like, he was like freaking speeding to get us there. But anyway.
I told her I do this for a living. That's what I used to do back in the day.
So yeah, we knew going in, we had heard, that the acting wasn't great.
Yeah. It's M. Night Shyamalan. You expect that.
Right.
You expect that.
And that it was funny unintentionally, stuff like that. So I wasn't, I guess, expecting too terribly much. Wait, what are you doing, Ken?
Nothing. I had something pop up on my phone.
Continue. So anyway, it came on and
it happened to us.
So first of all, I feel like this is like super dramatic. Okay, so let me be clear. I didn't hate this movie.
I didn't either.
I did not hate this movie.
There's worse Shyamalan movies. I can think of 4.
The story or the concept or the plot, whatever you want to call it, was the only thing that saved this movie.
Yes. Very interesting premise and plot.
Yes. Like, I love that kind of stuff. But the writing was bad. The acting was bad. It was very cringy at times.
Yeah.
And as mentioned, it was funny. I don't think on purpose, just with the, acting and stuff. And like you said it several times, you're like, the dialogue in this is just like,
it was out of control. It was crazy. That woman, and maybe because she's foreign.
Yeah.
But like when she walks up to that guy and she starts telling him like, look, I can't, there's something wrong with my kids. I know you're a doctor and I'm only telling you this because I want you to trust me. And it's like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
And then there's like a part with the kids or the teenagers where they're like,
it's like one and the same.
I'm changing. I used to see in colors, but now I used to see in a lot of colors and now I see in less colors.
Yeah, it's like, what are you all talking about?
And they're quieter. I guess
crazy.
I guess maybe they were talking about how she wasn't, like kids, they see like, they have like that child.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were saying. Like
I feel like M. Night Shyamalan may have thought about this movie more
Than you think?
than we thought. And there's a lot of stuff in there that we didn't pick up on that would make sense. Like if you're an actual like scientist and knew how like aging worked and how it would work if like there was rapid change in a very short period of time.
Yeah, and I mean,
maybe he did his research and it's just way over our heads.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
with the dialogue, but
yeah. So I mean, we don't want to like say what happens.
Well,
right?
We could say what the premise is. Basically, it's like 3 different families go to this resort, and it's unclear in the beginning like who's sick and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go out to these. They take them out to this beach with a bunch of rocks around the beach, and the rocks is what has like a magical power that makes them all age.
You find out that this like resort or whatever has handpicked these people for a reason.
Well, we don't have to get in that. That's going into the
spoiler territory.
The stuff at the end, like the twist at the end.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I'm just telling you what happened.
I think everybody knows.
They're getting old.
This mystery island, is aging everyone.
Yeah, the rocks is aging everybody. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Like I said, I think it drug on for a little bit. Like it started off like.
I mean, it was almost 2 hours, and it could have easily been.
There was like 30 minutes in the middle that I was like, you all are just going a little bit too far with some of this stuff.
Right.
In particular, the pregnancy.
Okay, I wanted to talk about that.
Go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, when this part happened, I was like, "Are you serious right now? Like, I can't."
Yeah,
but like,
just went a little bit too far with what they were trying to do.
Yeah, so like in one of the families, there's a brother and a sister, and they end up turning into teenagers, basically.
Yeah.
And then with the other family, there's a little girl, and so she also ended up turning into a teenager. So at one point, they had been playing. All the kids had been playing together, and they're like eating the shit out of all this food because they're like growing rapidly, right? Like,
and that makes sense.
Yeah, like kids are always freaking hungry. If you have any, But there's a scene where the one boy is in a tent with the other girl, not a sister.
And they have the mindset of still like 6-year-olds.
Well, they realize, they're getting into that teenager hormonal period.
They're going through puberty together in a tent over the course of like 30 minutes.
Right. And so all of a sudden they're like, I feel things. I feel so strange. And basically they're talking about being like super horny, I guess. And then basically the next thing we know, like you could tell that like something was probably going to happen or whatever. And then like a little bit later, they come out of the tent and the girl is freaking pregnant. So they had sex, I guess. I guess they just, figured it out.
Well, basically the timetable on this is they said they age 2 years every hour.
Uh-huh.
So I was doing the math in my head as we were watching it. So that's basically her pregnancy lasts 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That's why she delivered it so quick.
21, 22 minutes.
So she comes out and it's like they never even learned what sex was because the mom is like, honey, what happened to you? Mind the fact that she's a fucking teenager now.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, don't worry, Mom. We just ate a bunch of food and I'm just fat. Or I just gained a little weight.
They had no idea what they just did.
So it's
which I don't even know like how he knew what to do.
And like literally none of the grown-ups comment on the fact that they must have had sex. Like, I don't know if maybe they thought, well, what if she was pregnant when she came here, but she was a freaking like 6-year-old.
No, she wasn't pregnant when she came here.
So like they just don't even address it at all. It's like their mind just can't even comprehend it, I guess. So they just don't even talk about it. And then the next thing you know, they're literally having to deliver her baby.
Yeah, and then
it's crazy.
We don't have to go into any more than that. But yeah, that was a little bit too far. And yeah, I'd say that you could have trimmed about half. I said it while we were watching it because there was nobody in there with us watching it, so we were kind of talking to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, this feels like a really solid episode of the Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe 45 to 50 minutes. They could have fit this story in, and it probably would have been a little tighter.
Right.
Maybe put some better writing. So yeah, I mean the concept and the premise was good.
Yeah, and you've probably heard that there's a nice little twist at the end, which there was, and I appreciated it. But I also think that
it explained a lot, and it also made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I did like the ending. I feel like they could have left it at a certain point instead of continuing.
It's what they did after that I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, it was like you could have just stopped here. But
yeah,
all in all, like I said, it wasn't horrible. I didn't hate it. The story alone kept me interested. But and just one more thing I wanted to talk about quickly. There's like this one woman who is like married to a doctor, and she's like super like into her appearance, and she's like an Instagram person. She's taking pictures of herself, like she's like super into her appearance.
Yeah.
And I mean, can I talk about that?
Yeah.
Like basically, I guess she has some kind of condition where she has to take.
I think her condition was like multiple sclerosis,
that's
maybe.
Right. Yeah,
she had MS.
Yeah. So she took like vitamins, and she didn't bring them or something because they were just going to chill on the beach for a little bit, and because it was aging her so quickly, and she wasn't taking her vitamins, she like literally became a hunchback. And there's this. Can I talk about the scene in the cave?
Yeah.
There's this. I didn't even tell you this, but that scene was super freaking creepy. It was a little like at the end.
I didn't understand what was happening, but then I was like, oh, okay, she had a condition before she came to the island. She was the one in that group that had the condition. That's why they were there, probably because of her.
She wasn't the only one with problems.
Really? Because the dad didn't have any problems. Maybe some mental problems because he kept asking about the movie with Robert De Niro and.
You mean in that family?
Jack Nicholson in it.
In that family. I think you meant like the only one on the island.
He was, because everybody had somebody in their family had problems. The woman had the tumor. The other ones had the girl with the seizures. I think
that's a spoiler alert, babe. That goes into
this is all in the very beginning. I don't really consider that spoilers. I don't really consider that spoilers.
But it like literally plays into the twist at the end.
Yeah, well, we kind of covered that a little bit at the beginning.
Well, anyway.
So yeah, but she has MS. Obviously, she had it when they got there.
Yeah, you just like see her become a hunchback, and there's this super creepy part where she's like been wandering in the cave, and she's like covered up with this like thing because she's like I said, she's into her appearance, and now she looks like a monster basically. Yeah. And she's like telling the teenagers like, "Don't look at me, don't look at me," and it was a really creepy scene. I was like, oh my gosh, like. But anyway.
It was overall, like I said, there's worse Shyamalan.
What would you give this movie?
Out of a 5, I'd probably give it a 3.
Okay.
I'd probably give it a 3. I'll watch it again. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the 4K when it comes out, but I'll definitely watch it again. I said this before we were trying to decide what movie to watch because there was a ton of movies we could have watched. Could have went to see Snake Eyes or Black Widow or
I wouldn't have wanted to see those.
Any of these other movies, but I was like, at least if we go see old, it may be bad, but it's going to be interesting and it's going to be fun to talk about.
Right.
So at least there's something there with this movie, and it sparks some kind of conversation and dialogue.
Yeah, and maybe that's all he goes for, And
he has an interesting career. It's always like he has like some of the greatest movies of all time. Mm-hmm. Like he has a movie that's in my top 25 with Signs. Mm-hmm. Sixth Sense is great. Unbreakable is great. I love Split.
And I know you mentioned Glass. It too. It's like he doesn't age.
Yeah, he's in the movie, of course. He
like
always
how old
cameos
is he,
in his
I wonder?
Movies. He has to be in his 50s.
Because
he started pretty young, but
yeah, I was gonna say because Signs is kind of old.
I mean, I think he was 30 when he did The Sixth Sense. He was pretty young, so he might be early 50s.
He really likes doing those like twist endings, doesn't he?
It's a thing.
Yeah,
like it became a thing for him to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's just a very interesting director.
Like there's a like in the beginning of the movie, he comes on and like thanks people for coming to the theater or whatever. Yeah. Which that's what John Krasinski did when we saw A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still looks like really pretty young. So.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Shyamalan, I'm always gonna support. I'm gonna watch his stuff.
Yeah.
If it's good or bad, because you might be getting a masterpiece, you might be getting something that's really great. You might be getting something that's just hilariously bad, or just something that's bad altogether, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or After Earth, which I don't even think you saw those. Turner Fan says, "What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. No problem, man. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Oh my
Turner Fan, at the
gosh.
battle.
It's already tomorrow.
It's tomorrow night. I really liked Old. Awesome, man. Awesome. We kind of liked it also. They should put there's worse Shyamalan movies on the 4K cover. They absolutely should.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I can name them. I like this more than The Village. I like this more than The Happening and Avatar, The Last Airbender, and After Earth. So there's 4 that I like this one more than.
Okay.
And Lady in the Water. I would say this is better than Lady in the Water too. Haven't seen it yet, but I think I'll wait. It's free to stream. Yeah, you might want to. Basement Blue says, just stopping by to say hello against the ground because I haven't seen older Suicide Squad yet.
There you go.
Definitely check out Suicide Squad, man. But maybe he's waiting for the theater.
Yeah.
JRP says, I will watch Old when it's free to stream. There you go. It's probably a movie that'll be on like Amazon Prime or Netflix within the year, I would say.
You think?
But there you have it, guys. If nobody has anything else to say, we appreciate you watching our reviews and ramblings tonight of these movies and TV shows.
Sloppy mess.
I feel like we did okay.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job. You want to do a high five? Is that like our thing now?
Is
Do a
it?
high five at the end of every stream. I feel like we've done it before.
Okay, we might have.
I feel like we've done it before.
Yeah, we've been sharing this drink together.
Yeah, appreciate everybody watching. Please like this video, guys. Don't underestimate the power of a good like.
Yes.
Hit that like button. Also, if you're watching on the replay, be sure to comment down below if you have any thoughts on any of these movies or TV shows that we talked about tonight on the stream. And do you have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
All right.
I gotta go get these kids to bed.
Let's get the kids to bed, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.